The meaning of life. Yeah. Let's go, Lion.
Previously on Kimba TV. This is like the classic thing that we always talk about, to be honest, chat. Some people like to take that short. Some people like to wait for a higher high, and some people like to wait for the failed auction to form, you know? So you could try to take a short here, you could try to take a short here, or you can also take the bearish retest here too. It's kind of up to you.
Kachoya!
Oh my goodness, boy.
Oh my goodness! Kachoya! Let's go! Who juicing? Who juicing? Who juicing? Who juicing? Let's go! Choya! Kachoya!
I'm juicing.
Let's do it! Let's do it! Ladies and gentlemen, the U.S. market's opening in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Kachoya! Boogama! Go, 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 go! Boogama! Go! We mathin'! Go! Too easy! Go!
You know what's crazy? Somebody was asking me about 92K yesterday during the failed auction talk. And there's a clip where I go, yeah, no, I mean, we could easily go to 92. Oh shit, boy.
Boy, we juicing! How we doing?
How we doing? Good morning. Vanilla says BlackRock sells off 10%. Let's get it. Easy money.
The math is the math. The math is the math.
That's what a failed auction is, ho.
How we doing? How we doing?
Hey. How many people were here for the ETH TA? Hey. How many people here for that ETH TA yesterday? I wish it went down even a little bit lower. How many people were here for the box?
Math is the math. It's too easy, bitch.
But full rotate, value area low, settlement, we're back inside. The more time that it spends, time value area high is up there. Are we ready, Lions?
Are we ready? Are we juicing?
Shit is too easy, my boy. First things first. How many of y'all are caught up on yesterday's thang? The top is unfinished, okay? RTH high is not in. The RTH high, that's a bad high. Everybody understands that, right? That's a bad high on RTH. Also, ETH set the 105 high, okay? And that's a weak high. So the high is unfinished, all right? So yes, we're gonna get 110 at some point. Right now though, not sure, okay? The high is unfinished, so yes, we're gonna make another high sooner or later. However, you have changed structure for the first time in weeks, Coke Zero. So what I would say is anything like this, holding this low, and I don't know if you were here when I just said it, but I would want this to come back to either here or the VWAP, and then we break this. Then I think you're at least guaranteed to get value area high because you would have the full rotation play. Okay? I would even be okay with this. All right? The easy short, brother, is what? The easy short is this. Break that. Oh, I got you. So I think it's two really easy trades, at least for me anyways. Lose that, I'm shorting that hoe. Okay? But you hold that, and then you break that high again, then you're probably gonna go see that. So this is good, right? I don't know if you guys heard me say this earlier when we started, but I want this to pull back. It penetrated. Let me see it pull back. Let me see it hold here, here, or here. And if it makes another high, so it does this, then I would be looking for the pullback to try and take it up there. Just fifth grade TA shit, you know? And it's Friday. So my main concern is making sure that baby girl is going to be happy this weekend. So if she wants to go like glamour camping this weekend or maybe go shopping in LA, then I need to figure out how I'm going to allocate my time. That's my biggest concern for the next couple of hours. So yeah, something like that, Coke Zero. All right. So I don't know if 110K is coming, but pretty simple setups at least for today. Sounds good. Fung87 says, you said we could see 92K and market makers be like, what the fuck? When did this dude heard our plan? Hey, I'm a janitor at Binance. I go through the notes sometimes. You heard me? Akachaya! Ha ha ha! Actually, I'm way too old to be fucking doing the nay-nay. Ondor says, do we long here? What the fuck? Ondor, exclamation rewind. Exclamation rewind. Okay, let me recap it again. Ondor, so I don't know if you have seen this before, okay? You're probably thinking to yourself, could the T value area low and the settlement, could that be like a bullish retest, right? That's what you're probably wondering, why you might be asking if you should long. This is not a high probability long. It's too easy of a setup, okay? So could it, if it does this, it's extremely bullish, okay? Then I would be thinking to myself, not only could T value area high get destroyed, but maybe we actually do clean that high, okay? What would be more normal would be to lose it. Everybody that tries to long that first, they get wrecked, okay? We start to bait shorts, okay? Which is why, for me, I would want all this cleaned and I would like something like that. But, so this would be a little bit lower probability. This is what you will usually play out if it's going to be a long. All right, Ondor. So I can't predict the future. Maybe it does. Okay? And the reason why I can tell you this is because I've already taken this long hundreds of times live on stream with you guys. And guess what happened? Fuck, I got stopped out. So let's see what happens. Sounds good? Ondor. And sometimes it's going to do that. Sometimes it's going to do this, and sometimes it's going to do this. So it's really just about watching the reaction and the probabilities play out. But if this holds, then that's really bullish. And then I would think that it's going to go beyond value area high. This would be like normal. Yeah. What do you guys think about the ETH TA yesterday? What'd you guys think about the ETH TA yesterday? Would have been nice to get all the way into the box, but schwiggity schwaggity, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we've had these levels for quite some time, couple weeks. Yeah, it's normal shit, man. This is all math, boy. This is all math. Any questions? I'm just kind of vibing, listening to music and, you know, juicing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, boy. But, ladies and gentlemen, exclamation YouTube. All right, make sure you guys are caught up, boy. Make sure y'all are caught up. We have talked about everything. You guys have asked about everything. You know? Exclamation prepared. Am I right? Oh, shit. What do you guys think about the prep work, man? And once again, what do you guys think about the levels?
You know, one thing my trainer, he told me.
Yeah, we could easily go to 92. It pixel fucks 92. You know what I'm saying? We doing the math. You know what I'm saying? We doing the math. You know what I'm saying? We mathing. You know what I mean? Exclamation prepared, y'all. That way you don't really have to think like when the bullets are flying. It's just kind of more reactionary, muscle memory type of shit. If you're wondering what to do when the bullets are flying, that's when you gotta be objective and self-honest and be like, all right, I'm behind everybody else, you know? Schwiggity. Everything looks good. 28 minutes on the 30-minute candle close, ladies and gentlemen. It's Macro says, can you explain why after hitting 100K mega dump? Yes, it's very, very simple. What I would do if I were you is maybe start watching from November 26th YouTube highlights. Because that's when I think this is when we start talking about like that 92K level. Okay. And, like make sure that you have shit like this, you know, your untested, value area low on CME is still 92.9. The unfinished low is at 89.8. You got CME gap. You've got the 85 sweep. You got big VWAP. So we start identifying levels around November 26th macro. That's when we start talking about 9,200, which is the number that we ended up throwing out yesterday. Even yesterday, we were talking about failed auction structure. November 26th, I believe, is when we, again, start talking about swing failing or doing a failed auction above 100K. All right. So basically, it was either going to front run the 100K or it was going to sweep 100, bait a whole bunch of people, and it's going to swing fail or failed auction and then have a little bit of a big pullback. 92, 89, 85, and 86, those are all levels that we've been talking about for quite some time as levels that we would want for a pullback. All right. So basically you made a failed auction, and you can hear us talking about it yesterday, just like this. And you can hear me also talking about a CVD bear div. All right. It's really more about just reading data. On this move up, we saw a $53 million longer come in. No, I think Bybit is down. But basically, a lot of top longing that came in. Oh, wow, a lot of these need to be reset, huh? And a failed auction. And then you basically got to see that 50 mil guy get stopped out. So lots of top longing. And we start talking about this a while back, but lots of top longing and bearish structure. And you got the failed auction above the 102K basically. So it all kind of starts with it all starts with levels. Okay, so we've been looking at 92, 89, 85 for quite some time. We've also been looking at 102, 99.6, 98.4, and you know, all of these other zones as well. So it starts with identifying levels. Then it starts with structure. This is textbook failed auction above our 102 level. So you just got to take it for what it is. And you're telling me that on this wick up into the formation of the failed auction, you had a $53 million top long? You remember that 53 mil long? Yeah, there you go. So it's levels, structure, open interest, and then CVD divergence, right? We called it. It doesn't really get any, that's a trifecta of everything that we usually look for, brother. All right. I don't know how long you've been watching me, Macro, but I like to identify levels and see how we get up there and how we react up there. Okay. So that 102 level we put out there a while ago, right? Now, when it got to 102, we like to look at open interest. All right. So you had 53 plus more in top longs, right? As we got up there, we like to look at structure. It made a failed auction. And we also like to look for divergence. We had a bearish divergence yesterday that we started to call out. So like I said, I don't know how long you've been watching me, but those three elements are what I always look at. I had a $102,000 short, but I closed it way too fucking early. But you can hear me say, you're not longing here. As long as you don't long, you're Gucci. All right, Macro. So, you know, it all starts from weeks ago, the levels, all right? Thinking and planning for worst case scenario. I have a protocol. I like to identify levels, and I look at open interest, I look at divergence, and I look at structure, okay? But you guys should all have your own sort of protocols, and then you trust the math. Whether you want it to go higher or whether you want it to go lower because you have entries or you have more TPs, the math is the math. All right. So, yeah, I mean, no one's going to be able to predict shit like this. But it wasn't surprising. If anything, I came back from my massage and I was like, fuck, I wish I didn't close my short. But for it to bounce pixel perfect from 92 on Coinbase doesn't surprise me. I got filled a little bit on the ETH and I added more right here. Doesn't surprise me. You know, we're going up to naked point of control and it's pulling back a little bit. Doesn't surprise me. You know what I mean? So I'm not surprised. I'm just more like, oh, fuck, I actually could have made more money than I did. That's usually my moments of regret. Yeah, that's it. And I think, especially for you younger Lion Cubs, you're thinking to yourself, holy fuck, we dumped like almost 10K. Oh my God. Yeah, but from a Bitcoin percentage perspective, a 10% pullback is nothing. Nothing, especially after an all-time high. And do you know how well I was prepared, Macro, for the last couple weeks, man? I've been talking about I don't really care to have be in like a pixel perfect Bitcoin short, but I really want to be prepared for altcoin long opportunities on every Bitcoin pullback. So if this bitch wants to go clean that 92, I'm ready. Did you see my Sol TA? Y'all saw me do the Sol TA yesterday. I have an alert set at like 160. So you know that in 3 weeks from now, some motherfuckers are gonna be talking about, how did you long 160 Sol? And I'm gonna have to say some shit like, yo, you're gonna wanna watch the highlight from 3 weeks ago. You're gonna wanna watch the highlight from 4 weeks ago. And I'm gonna sound like a dickhead, but it is what it is. You know, because that's the truth. That's when I figured it out. That's when I planned for it. So yeah, when you ask me, like, why did we dump from 100? If you really want to know, I got to send you back 2 weeks ago when we identified the 102 level. And Lions, like, isn't that the same shit that we do every single time we identify levels? So give it up for the 102. Can we give it up for the 102? We look at open interest, right? We always look at open interest. So you had, because some of y'all were like, yo, that $53 million longer is juicing, ha ha ha.
Not enough Latushi.
But you saw what happened though, right? You saw what happened though, right? Okay. So you had 53 million coming into the structure, right? What is this? This is pixel perfect failed auction. It doesn't get any more textbook pixel perfect than this, y'all. Right? So that's structure. Right? Structural. Before we had open interest. And then what's the third thing that we look at? Divs. Well, didn't we call out that hit the bear div yesterday? So it's the same shit every single time, ladies and gentlemen. We're all looking at the same shit. That's why it's so important. So that's why, like, some people, like I said, some people took that. You know, I would have been really enthusiastic about shorting if we cleaned that, because the high is poor, the ETH high is poor, the RTH high has a gap and it's bad. You know? So if I had the chance to clean that again, then fuck, who knows? In an alternate reality, maybe it did that. I'm in a mega short from 105,000 and we juiced all the way and I made like 5 mil. You never know. Some people decided to take this structure. Stop loss would be higher high. And I scalped the bearish retest with the higher high as the inval. And we narrated the whole thing through. And it was nice. Yeah, so anyways, that's kind of all of that to answer your question, homie, about why did we go to 100K and dump? I hope that answered your question. Ladies and gentlemen, how we doing? I'm juicing. Look, I'm not saying that it's gonna go there, but you have a single print at 103,600 and you've got the value area high at 300 basically. So do you guys have plans? I don't know about shorting that. For sure TPs on the long, but we need to see some time spent above. I guess if it's a clean sweep, it might be interesting if it does it in a quick, nice wick, 30-minute. The most bearish would be to go pixel the value area high, grab single print, and then close below the VWAP, which is what it's trying to turn into support right now. Sourcey says, when you have a trifecta like the SFP short above 102, it's hard to take anything less than that. No doubt, Sourcey. Do you want to talk about anything? So a lot of stuff kind of came into play. One starts with being able to understand 92K, pixel perfect bounce from Coinbase. That's bullish, right? And then understanding, okay, well, if it holds settlement as support, and starts to structure change, then that's bullish. We wanted the long from here, but ultimately anything breaking that is valid. We would want PDEQ to hold. Otherwise, we already pulled it. We don't want a what? You know what I mean? Fibonacci enjoyers, 7.5 to where? Coke Zero says, would you short that? Yes. Yes. Swing fail pattern, or are you talking about failed auction? You mean failed auction? I would probably do something like, I might try to like enter short here with the local high there, and hopefully the bearish retest doesn't stop me out. Yeah, I would short that. Because this should hold if it was going to be bullish. And look at all these single prints. That's why there's one right there, because this is all single. There will be no support here. It'll do this. It might not even do a bearish retest, to be honest with you. Some of these will just go. So that's why I would, in this case, if I thought we were going to lose it, I would like try to get in there just in case it doesn't do this or it doesn't do the bearish retest. Just like how you don't get a bullish retest on this breakout sometimes. So sometimes if you're going to wait for, like if you were waiting for a bullish retest, is there really a difference other than the fees of market smashing right there, stop loss right there, versus letting it do this and hoping that it comes back and then that's your entry, and maybe that's your stop loss. That's valid too, but it would be the same exact thing. The difference is when you market, you know for sure you're going to be in that position. And that kind of depends on being able to interpret this scenario as really bullish, because this is normal bullish, kind of like how we said in the morning. What do you guys think? But I can't predict the future, so I don't know what's going to happen. But it's nice that the levels guide you though, right? So like bears, for example, you got that pixel perfect 7.5, higher high invalidation. It bounced off of 0.5, so you know that you need to turn golden pocket into resistance, because bulls are going to try to turn golden pocket into support. So that means you're, maybe on smaller time frames, CVD or open interest, to try and see if limits are coming in to buy, if market orders are coming in to buy, if shorts are being closed, if longs are opening, etc., etc. If you don't want to do that, you can just wait for structure change. It'll make a lower low and then get in on the bearish retest. And then yesterday you had a very textbook example of that. So it'll just be kind of like a pop quiz on failed auction play. Coke Zero says, sorry, yes, failed auction. You said it 2 hours ago. Yeah, so we shall see. I'm going to just keep it dead ass simple, brother. And I'm going to be looking at structure. I'm going to be looking at open interest. I'm going to be looking at divs, So here you go if you want to kind of see it. So there's only 6.8 million left. I don't think you have to squeeze out any longs. I think we're still okay. It's kind of up in the air right now, so I would just give it time. For me, like PDEQ has to hold for me. So anything that even starts to look like it could fail auction, I would probably front run it. And that's probably why I would try to turn like this. That should be support. I would play it as resistance, turning into resistance. So I would want something like, And you know what's cool is that happened yesterday, by the way, up here. All this. So that, what I'm just talking about, is, so if you were, if people were like paying attention, this is the failed auction. So you can either do the bearish retest and you can wait, and that's your stop loss, the structure higher high, or you would have, see what it did here? It bent, and it bounced, and see what happened? So you could have also taken an entry here with your stop loss there. So this is what I would try to do if it happened right now. But you see how it really doesn't make that much of a difference whether you have an entry here or here, or here or here. The stop loss is that. So there's really no point in like nickel and diming or no, you're right, you're wrong. Like as long as you kind of understand structure and you understand what your invalidation is and what you're willing to risk, and you're okay with that, and you're the one that can figure out what your loss would be depending on what the entry is. So, all right, how we doing? 16 minutes on the 30-minute candle close and the hourly candle close. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching value area high. Are you guys enjoying the math? I hope you guys understand that there's no part of trying to predict the future. It's level to level and understanding probabilities. This thing can really, it can only go up and down. So it's a 50-50 on when you want to bet that it's going to go up or down. So if you can just remember a little bit of historical patterns, if you can remember edge, if you can be patient and disciplined, and if you can just continuously put yourself in a position where your trade setup is better than 50-50, and you can sprinkle in consistent, excellent risk management, then it should be Gucci Magucci. It might not be as fast as you want. You might see a lot of unrealized P&L go away, but you're never going to have to sit there heartbroken with like a huge L. And slowly but surely, especially if you're investing some of the USDT profits into spot buys, your thank should be growing. So, all right. Yeah, happy Friday. 15 minutes. Let's go. Lock in. Well, I don't know if it's going to reach value area high. I don't know how it's going to react. We'll continue to keep an eye on everything. I'll take a look at EXO if and when and if it goes up there. Right now, open interest isn't really going to help that much, okay? So we don't. There's no point in looking at. EXO right now until we get to the T value area high. Have an amazing weekend, ladies and gentlemen. CPI week next Wednesday, y'all. Sato, tell them what happens if they don't show up for a Saturday stream if I show up for it. He said he's gonna smack the shit out of you, Snap Diddly. Maybe Sunday. CME resumption stream would be kind of cool, right? Otherwise, I'll see you guys bright and early on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Love you guys, man. Peace.